educator, you are a man of the cloth. Now let's get to this political thing. What the heck is happening in our city politically?
Well, that's the point. You know, our young people are not engaged politically because they haven't seen the adults. The adults have lost their minds, and they're crazy, and we have children who are crazy. So my young people, Shelby, Dion, and Marquise, they fall in a path of pathology, and they need to start fostering pain and healing in themselves so that they can be the advocates, the public servants to their community. They don't see the value in the community because the adults don't see value in the community. I listened to the show this morning, on a Larry Young morning show, and I hear people talking about how they hate black folks, the same people who purport to say they love black folks. They say things that are gravely disappointing and derogatory, letting us know that they don't have no sense of public service. So, okay, our mayor, that's our mayor. That's a woman of African descent. Despite whatever she's going through, she's standing tall and she's a public servant. So we must trust the process and respect the process and be behind her as she goes through this challenge. Now, whatever occurs, whether or not the verdict is she's acquitted, it's a hung jury.
Say she's
whatever.
Acquitted. Can she reemerge as the mayor that we voted in 2 years ago?
Well, I hope, I would think she would be a greater mayor, because sometimes it takes these type of difficulties to know who indeed are, really with you. And she's been able to have, everything has been illuminated right now. You know, you turn the lights on and you see the roaches. That's how I grew up. I turn the light on and see the roaches. You've seen all the lights are on, and she can basically be a better person for it because of the moral and ethical challenges that she had to go through. It's nothing. It's terrible to be accused of something and you're innocent, but hey, it's the court of public opinion.
Well, if you got roaches, seems to me you need to clean the crumbs up, you need to sweep the floor, get some bleach, and start wiping and cleaning.
But my grandmother, my mom would say our house was clean, but the roaches can come from next door. So we need to clean up the community so no roach will be impacted and infected the individual house. And that's what's happening. We have a bunch of roaches in our community, and the very thing that can clear away the roaches, we don't want to talk about that, and that is the black church is the most powerful organization in the community that created these people that we talk about, who became the great public officials.
Can we trust the church when it comes to politics?
Absolutely, you can trust the church, because the church is the manifestation of Christ on this plane, on this world, to basically.
Let me ask you again, can we trust the church when it comes to electing?
The church has gotten us this far by faith for 400 plus years. Now, of course, there are some anomalies, there are some challenges that exist within the individual.
No, there are a lot of anomalies.
Of course, there's a lot of anomalies within the individual. The church is only reflective of the individual that exists within the church.
I mean, but Kevin, every 4 years, we see these politicians come up into our church talking smack. I'm going to look out for the people. Blah, 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 blah. And 4 years later, it's the same old thing.
And you're absolutely right. I oftentimes said, and I've tried to challenge the process and run for a public office and say to the people, the delegation is only as strong as the representation and the registration. So you show me a disengaged politician, I show you a disengaged citizenry. And again, I have these young people here so they can see advocacy and citizenship in place, because they have to take ownership that they are Americans, they are Baltimoreans, they own their community, they're going to get the roaches out of it.
One other thing, when it comes to black churches, we do have some wonderful black contractors out here that can build a church. Kane Contracting, Commercial Interiors, they can build a black church. It troubles me when a black church goes to expand or build, and they come up with this thing about, well, we're going to use a white contractor on this. The problem I have is the money that you get to operate is 100% from black people. So why wouldn't you 100% support black business?
Every church that I know have used a black contractor to build their church. So
I'm sure there's some bad black contractors, but best believe, buddy,
no bad.
There's some bad white contractors too who will rob and burn you.
You know, the Bible declares where your treasures are, there will your hearts be also. So of course there are